emotional. I felt inspired. I felt I felt frustrated that I hadn't been told these stories before, and I felt very grateful that colleagues here have taken the time to tell these stories because they're really important. They really mean a lot. It's very important that we're here, and it restores my faith really in a world where we feel that things are very individualistic and very short term. This history, these stories, remind us about bravery and remind us about allyship. There's a lovely combination of sort of humorous elements with like really deep personal stories and very relevant. And the story arc where we started off with Ukraine and we ended with Ukraine it was fantastic.
The film itself, I think, was quite an accomplishment. It explains things really well. And for me, the most important is that it puts on record history that is now being rewritten to write all of these things out as if these things never existed, about solidarity, about why black and white could unite to fight for their common interests, that we're not biologically determined, etc. So, a fabulous achievement, and I think it'll go down as a historical document that records history for future generations.
Oh, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So inspiring. It's so inspiring to see all these young people making the film and then the stories in the film. I mean, that is definitely 2 hours of my life that I will spend. I'll watch it again, I think. I've learned so much about history and what solidarity means. So to see men fighting for women's rights, amazing. Ordinary working class people fighting against racism, straight people fighting for gay liberation. All of those stories are just so inspiring. Fantastic work.
I thought it was very good. It was very well put together. There was a lot that went into it. I can see a lot of research that's been done. So that's to be commended, really. Very, very good.
It was excellent. Really informative. Brilliant. I was so moving. I was more than once I started crying. I thought there was some so great stories that really drew out just how brilliant people can be. So I was thrilled to be helped, but more than anything, I loved hearing other people's stories about standing up and doing things for themselves.
The World Right Charity and all these young people that made this today did such a fantastic job of it. It's totally engaging piece of work. And I just think they deserve absolutely everybody's support with this. It's absolutely fabulous. Thank you very much.
I got a lot of valuable experience like working behind the camera, interviewing people. I'd never done either of those things before. Got me some amazing, great people as well. And, it was just a brilliant chance to be part of a really, really impactful journey of making something I never would have considered to say before. I thought it was fantastic. Very, very educated, very informative. So many things that I learned about. I just would have had no idea any of those things. I think as well, it kind of gives you a bit of, restores your faith in humanity a little bit and just how far we've come as well as a society. And yeah, I thought it was amazing. Amazing work. Just the way it was all put together. Just incredible.
I think going into it, I felt like I do know a lot about the topic and maybe I'll be just still kind of go all the topics that content that I kind of do know a lot about. But I think that's what caught me the most off guard was that when I was watching it, I realized that I actually kind of got it wrong in terms of what solidarity is. I think I had a very big idea of what solidarity is, and it was really interesting to sort of watch the movie and understand the different ways in which different groups of people have been involved with lots of different causes through history and shown their solidarity in loads of different ways, actually. And yeah, I think it was really interesting because I was consistently learning things like throughout, even whilst watching the chapters that I thought, I wouldn't be too interested in. I found that, I was all consistently like, oh, that's interesting. And I was finding out new things consistently throughout, which I thought was interesting. For me, the most interesting topic, I guess, was I guess the one on gay rights, because I guess that really resonated with me as well. And it was just really interesting to see the history, because whilst I was watching the movie, I realized I haven't actually ever looked into the history of like gay rights.
I didn't have any experience of filming or like making on a camera, any of that before joining World Ride. And it's just great in the sense that like, they give people who want to participate in film in the face of filmmaking free opportunity. This was like way more than what I've learned in like college or like university. So I think that says something about World Ride, like how dedicated the team is. Yeah, it was just like a great experience for me. And I was involved in filming 2 chapters of the film. Just like seeing my name in the credits, it's like so fulfilling. Like this would be my first credit in a full length feature film.
I definitely recommend it. It was very good. I was surprised how cohesive it all fitted together, all the different chapters. They sort of held one feeling or argument throughout the film, which I think is fantastic. Yeah, definitely highly recommend it. So to pick a favourite there, I think the bit on gay rights came across extremely well. A story about the women's rights. I had no idea about regarding the film processing company. That was all new to me. So I very much enjoyed that one as well. It's hard to pin down a favourite one because I thought they were all excellent.
I'm always going to remember this because that's the first. It's my first experience. I learned so many skills. This film I thought was brilliant. It was very easily digestible way by using the chapters to show like the little experts in history, things that I hadn't known about before. I'm really looking forward to the release of each of the chapters now to learn more. It's a reminder that solidarity is important, that standing up with people is important, and adding to the collective voice.
I felt inspired, amazed. I felt enthralled by the stories of solidarity. I find it really interesting the way in which solidarity between people is kind of expressed across national, across racial, across lines of sexuality. In an age in which we're told that we have to kind of stay in our lane, the way in which the people involved in those stories have broke down those barriers, I found really inspiring.
I think it really did bring out the story of solidarity throughout all the film. I was a planetary photographer as well as camera operator. Anyone who wants to know the history of our country and how people from all walks of life, especially people from working class backgrounds, supported in solidarity causes in other countries. This is a great film to discover new things about our country. You don't know.
What I thought about the UK solidarity film is amazing. Seeing each person's different history, it really touched me. Yeah,